Welcome friends, please remember on this channel I usually post more advanced math videos on a variety of topics, whatever strikes my fancy. I'm going to give you a nice interpretation of a limit today. Imagine we have axes going this way and then this way. And then on top of it, imagine another set of axes, say this way, and then down this way. Now why would I do that? Because imagine here we graph the following. So this is going to be a horizontal asymptote. We're going to do a limit. I'm going to show you a visual interpretation of something. And then imagine that this curve that I graph here is like the basic tangent inverse curve, which looks like this pretty much. Except this piece here is not really even really relevant, so I'll just erase that. We don't need this piece here. Now within here, I'm going to graph the following, the curve that looks like this. I really should extend this down a little bit more here. That looks like this. What is it I've drawn here in the particular arrangement of axes? So specifically, this is 1 over x, and then we know this is tangent inverse here, so I'll write tan inverse. Now look what happens here. So cold is the x-axis, and now in positive infinity is going to be going straight down this way. So look what happens. When x goes down in this direction towards positive infinity, choose a particular value of x. So say like, we'll call it, of course, x sub 0. When you bounce this with this curve here, then it's going to go here. So this is going to be the output, in other words, in this position, correct? This is going to be 1 over x sub 0. That then gets fed into the tangent inverse function, which gets bounced into this value right here. So this, let me draw this in white. This represents the following value. It's tan inverse of 1 over x sub 0. Look what happens next. So we're going to let x continue going towards positive infinity, towards different values. So let me take this and just extend it down a bit more. So like this. There you go. Grab a different value of x now. So we'll call this x1. So it's going to bounce off the curve and then it's going to come over here. It's going to get output right there. So what does that represent? So this would represent right here 1 over x sub 1, the next value of that. That then would get fed into the inverse tangent curve, which then would get output right here, that value. So the last value here, that represents tan inverse of 1 over x sub 1. Now look what happens in this process. We're visualizing. That's a puzzle, really. So x is going down towards positive infinity, which is shown as this here. Every time you do that, then these outputs here, like 1 over x sub 0, 1 over x sub 1, those outputs, they will be tending towards 0 from this direction right here. But as that occurs, these values here also tending towards 0 right there, the way the arrows indicate. So what's the limit that we have just visualized here in terms of the entire process? The limit says the following. It's the limit as x approaches positive infinity of tan inverse of 1 over x. And by visualizing this entire process, hopefully we can tell that the value of this limit is 0. I thought this was a very beautiful interpretation of how math can be visualized, even not just in one graph, but an entire process can be visualized. So if you like math videos at this level and at similar levels of complexity, sometimes I post Putnam level questions, whatever strikes my fancy. Please be sure to subscribe and like. I'll see you in another video.